Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Endlessly Interviews Eddie on Talking Time in the Six. Okay, so here's my co-host Endlessly. We're
Hi,
gonna let
everyone.
her take off with the questions.
All right, everyone. This is Endlessly Interviews Eddie, number 14. Can you believe that? Oh,
Yep,
14.
14 for sure.
All right, so the topic is extortion. Do you have anything to say really quick before I begin?
No, just it's a very serious topic, and I hope somebody can learn a little bit from this and want to stay out. That's what these are for.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so here we go with this very serious topic. Question one. What are different types of extortion you saw while locked up, and what was the most common?
Okay, well, different types of extortion, period, are like on the streets, they got extortion for like ransoms, extortion for revealing like a partner cheating on their partner for money, where someone has pictures and they say, oh, we're gonna show your partner these if you don't give us money. So that's one type of extortion. And then the extortion we're going to be speaking on today is obviously inside lockup, which goes on convict to convict. It goes on gang on inmate, inmate on inmate, crooked guard to inmate, inmate to crooked guard, convict to guard. Different things, many different ways. And we're going to be speaking on some of that today. So those are the different types of, um, extortion that you're going to find inside. But on the outside was the first few that I mentioned. That's more common, obviously, on the outside. On the inside is where you're going to see it, where it's like people are more worried about getting arrested and going to jail on the outside. Where when you're on the inside, it's like they don't care because nobody's going to say nothing. No one's ever going to find out. So
Right.
people really go through it. All right. So let's get into this.
All right, let's go. So here we go. Did guards intervene with certain types of extortion more so than other types of extortion when they did intervene?
Definitely more so on stuff that has to do with drugs and bringing in packages and stuff like that. That would be more where they would get involved, where a crooked guard would get involved in like maybe like telling an inmate, you better pay me such and such a dollars or whatever, or I'm not going to bring it in no more. That's a way of extorting the inmate because that's all the inmate needs, that money. And if he's not going to bring it in no more, he could be trying to jack up the price, or vice versa, where the inmate or the convict could be really, really coming heavy on the officer if the officer really don't want to do it no more. And he's saying, like, say he's already done it a couple of times and he don't want to do it no more. The gang could be like, yo, or the convict could be like, if you're not going to do it no more, we already know where you live. We already know what you drive. We're going to have some dudes come over there and this and that. So that's
Yep.
another way to extort him back into doing what you want him to do. So basically, you're extorting an officer to do what you want him to do, which is bring in the package. Now, inmate on inmate would be more like guys sitting there paying rent to be on the block, where they would like have somebody they look up to, or they have somebody that's more or less a little bro in them and trying to protect them. Like, you pay me X amount of dollars and you're going to be protected. No one else is going to mess with you because I'm going to protect you, type thing. Where that's about, I'd say, half of the extortion that goes on is little bro and dudes and like saying like, don't worry, bro, you're gonna be all right. Just give me X amount and you're gonna be cool. And a lot of elderly dudes will do that if they got like enough money and they don't really care about the money. They'd rather just have their health and be safe and not have to get in fights like that. They have a younger dude like me, for example. Say there's like a 65-year-old dude that ain't got hands. Obviously, he's elderly and he's a millionaire. Obviously, for example, um, like there's specific people I could speak on, but we'll just say, like, say the guy owns a mattress store or something, or he owns like some sort of big business, and people know this guy's a millionaire. A lot of guys are going to try to extort this dude, especially when they're stars, or you know, that's why it's very it happens a lot. I'm just going to say this happens almost on every range, everywhere you go. There's going to be somebody in there getting extorted. You just won't know about it, but it's happening behind the scenes. People are paying
Even
rent to stay in general pop.
we were just talking about Chris Lee, that rich man Chris Lee, who went to prison for he got like 9 years, and his wife for bank fraud or whatever, not paying taxes or whatever, and he went to a camp. But you said it can still happen at camps, right?
Uh,
No.
no, I don't think it would happen at a camp. No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't say
And
that actually.
anyone from the U.S., if you guys watch Chris Lee Knows Best, yeah, they got
On
fined.
camps, I don't think people are gonna do that because they want to go home. They all want to go home. They can literally hop the fence if they want.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I said it happens in jails a lot more. Um, super jails, stuff like that. Yeah,
When people are doing hard time is what you're saying, when they don't care no more.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they have a date to look forward to, they're going home. They might not want to risk that, right? Because guys that are in camps might actually, they might, I could see them telling, where dudes that are in the actual
Yeah.
23-hour lockdown, sometimes where you're getting locked down all the time and you're in the mix and you're in gangland, you know what I mean, with all the STG, all the other STG people in your STG, you ain't got nowhere to go. You can't tell, you can't talk, you can't even, so that's why a lot of dudes get caught up where they're stuck in this cycle of it and they can't get out of it because they can't tell, they can't go nowhere, they can't leave, and if they do, they know that it's gonna like look away, so they would rather just keep paying it and keep their whatever little status they have.
I'm so glad I asked that, because at first I was kind of regretting it, but you made a huge point. Like at the camps, they probably just don't even, they're trying to go home because they already have it easy anyway.
Exactly. Sure.
All right. So when paying rent, how much did you see that reach, or allegedly, and how did it break the person down? I mean, calling family and things, could you see it
Okay.
get
Yeah, I've seen it go all the way from like little things like food, to from like sticky buns and snacks and stuff, all the way to thousands and thousands of dollars.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Thousands? Oh,
yeah. You got to think just a gram of cocaine or heroin, just 1 gram of stuff in there, like it's 10 times the amount it would be on the streets. So you have to think about how expensive drugs are in there, and then think about the type of money people are playing with in there. Like this is their lives still, right? These are grown men, and this is still their life. Like this is still their whole everything they have. They still are in there. You know what I mean? So some dudes, this is their whole entire life, and when they get out, they want to have something put away. So if they find someone that's like a millionaire, they're gonna be on this dude, you know. Especially if they got nothing to lose, or if they know that this guy's in the mix and he ain't gonna say nothing.
mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. It's like almost like when a drug dealer robs another drug dealer, no one ever finds out. That's how I'm gonna explain it.
Yeah.
It's like it stays in that world. You know what I mean? So I've seen it to where guys are crying to their parents, crying to their wives, trying to get that money that they owe or the money that they have to pay for rent. I've seen it where there's just elderly dudes that are like old Indian dudes that were really, really rich that just don't care about paying the money. They'd rather pay the gang to protect them so they don't
Okay.
have issues. And then the gang really protects them really well because they pay so much and they don't want to lose those dudes. So that's like a big income for the gang. So they're like, these two dudes, we're protecting these two dudes like to the fullest. These guys are like making us a bag like every week or whatever. He's buying them all canteen every week, and he's putting money in their thing for their drugs, like all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen it go pretty low and pretty high. Like there's no scale of it. Like dudes, I've seen dudes literally extort dudes for their trays or their peanut butters, all the way to making them go on the phone and doing bank deposits.
Wow, huge range. Well, while we're on that topic, were they able to ever get out of it and regain their reputation if they did become extorted, or even create a reputation if they're extorted from the gate?
No, I've
No?
never ever seen anybody get extorted and then come back from it and not be extorted. Once people see you're extorted for the first time, once they see you allow it once, everybody's going to do it. Once one guy leaves, his homie's going to do it. And once that dude leaves, his homie's going to do it.
Right.
Until you get out, it ain't going to stop.
Wow.
Someone will
And then,
actually take over the extortion when the other guy leaves that's extorting you.
yeah.
Yeah. Dudes will even fight over it if it's a big enough bag.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk really quick about the elephant in the room, homegirl right here. So do you
Yeah.
think extorting or being extorted? Because she's right next to me and I haven't looked at her once.
I
Can you feel
think that I think she looks like she could be getting extorted or being
and
extorted.
trying to act like she's not? Like
Yeah.
she's your
Yeah.
grandma from,
Exactly.
or she's the pod boss, who knows? And like
Yeah.
being,
She's hard to read. That's why we kind of used her for the thumbnail because she could be the extorted one or be the one doing it, or she could look like she's the dyke bully or
right.
the man, if you want to say so.
And the number one fight in female prisons and jails actually is relationships. So women fight over women. It's
Yeah,
hands biggest thing they fight over.
I could see this one doing that for sure.
Yeah.
With the half shaved head type thing.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So here we go with the next one. Did you ever notice somebody like mess up while extorting and become like extorted themselves because they were slipping, like they did it wrong and fall into
Yeah.
like this trap you
Yeah,
have?
I've seen dudes do that and think that they're like see gangs doing it and think like, oh well, the gang's doing it, so I can find somebody smaller and do it to them.
Mm.
But then, um, say somebody else catches like, or you all of a sudden too many people know about it, and this guy ain't got hands like that, and he just wanted to do it just because he didn't have nothing, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh well, you want to extort somebody, do you? Okay.
Right.
Next thing you know, he's paying rent too because they're like, oh, well, you want to do this to people that are so much smaller than you? Okay. And then they do it to him, which meanwhile, it's the same thing, but it's just an excuse more or less to do it to the dude. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the answer is yes, I have seen that happen
Okay.
a few times.
Okay. Would extortion make anyone feel guilty while locked up? Did you see like guilt? Like, did they feel bad? Or
I would say allegedly, if I ever did do that in there, um,
allegedly?
I would feel bad at times, certain people. It all depends on like me, I always got in fights with bigger dudes and gang members and STG people, which STD is security threat group, which means you're either a gang member or someone that like is a high risk to escape, or
Yeah.
somebody that likes to fight police a lot, something like that, like a high risk. Um, so basically, all the people that I've been extorted or allegedly extorted were big men, and some of them are good people though. Some of them have good hearts and don't deserve it. And I
Yeah.
have done very, very mean and nasty things in the past and used weapons to hurt people and just done bad things. And yeah, I do feel bad for it. And I'm assuming that a lot of dudes might feel bad for it when they grow up and hit their 30s. The
Good way.
stuff they did when they were a teen and in their 20s.
And when they're free
I'll put it.
at it and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And it forces you almost into being an animal. It makes you worse than you actually are.
it's a free for all in
Like
there.
I
It's
see a lot of dudes come in there like that are not very like into the criminal minded type of street code or into the the life like that, and they get their first charge or whatever. Next thing you know, they get out and they're like fully gang banging and knowing everything from you're there with 40 other dudes that are all criminals. So
they
you're learning all their stories and you're learning everything that they do. And so now it's like you're going to school or you're going to something to learn more stuff. So guys go in there, hear about, oh, how this dude did this lick and that lick and got away with it. And now he wants to go try or just, different things like that.
wild. Okay. How could you spot extortion right away or someone being extorted? Would you have a sense to it? Or was it pretty like undercover, like hard to see happening right?
Honestly, I would
Right.
be able if I was on a range or a pod for like a week or maybe even a day or two, I would be
Okay.
able to catch on because when you're in there, you gotta watch everything, keep your back to the wall. You gotta always be on your P's and Q's when you're in gangland like that. But honestly, the regular average person that ain't street smart like that, that ain't into the politics like that, they're not gonna catch on right away or even know about it. They could be there for a year and not know what's going on, right? And
Wow.
a lot of the obviously COs and this and that don't know what's going on, and so a lot of times, yeah, people don't know what's going on or know what to look for, and I'm not gonna give them the pointers on what to look for, but yeah, it's I could spot it out personally from having a decade under my belt, but I mean, um, other people, just a random average person going in for the first time, is not going to know what's going on. You got to
Okay.
be into politics pretty heavy to know about that shit.
Okay. All right. So, what's the worst thing that happened to an extorter from a convict, another convict, or from a guard? Someone who was extorting. What's the worst thing that you saw happen to someone who was doing that?
I've seen dudes get stabbed for extorting dudes. Like all of a sudden they're extorting a dude, and then all of a sudden, his homies leave, and it equals out. Like dude's got just as many homies on the range, and then all of a sudden a bunch of more guys come in and it's all dudes homies, so now it kind of flips where this guy's got a lot more friends than the other dude that was extorting him, and then it kind of flips around where they jump him and stomp him out and pack him out and then start extorting him.
Damn.
So you got to be careful on what you're doing, and you got to know who you're doing it to,
Yep. You have to.
and
All
you
right.
let them do it once. I'm telling you, they're gonna try to do it. Everyone's gonna try to do it.
100.
When
That's why
people see
I'm
how easy it is, if you just give that up, like, okay, here, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, damn, that was fucking easy. I'm gonna do
exactly
that again. And then other guys are gonna see that and be like, shit, I want to do that. You know, I don't
right.
have. I'm feeling a little hungry myself. You know,
Dog eat dog world.
that's
All right,
what
guys.
it is. It's
So
exactly what it is.
we're at the bonus question here. And just in case anyone's wondering, Eddie and I are in the same house, but we wanted to bring it back to the OG times, endlessly interviews Eddie, the
Yeah,
way the way we do it. So here we go with the bonus question on this very serious topic. All right.
we're in different rooms in the house, doing
Yeah.
it the
No.
old school way.
Okay. Um, basically, why does it go down so much? Hands down. It could be, we all
Okay,
know.
I'd say the reason it goes down so much is because the administrations and the facilities that you're doing the time in don't feed the people enough. They
Oh
don't give
wow.
them enough resources. They don't give them enough stuff to do. And basically, violence is what goes, like violence and respect, I would say, but like more or less fear too, because if you're gonna get the respect either way, fear or what, but um
Wow.
that's what it is.
Remember, Eddie, I create these questions and Eddie gets to hear one or two of them basically. And
I create the answers up. I don't know the answers when she asks me these questions. I
yeah,
create the answers up off of my head from what I know from experience inside there. I don't write the answers down. We don't write down the questions she has in advance, and we talk about, but the answers we don't speak on. So she hears the answers as you guys hear them,
yes.
and I basically hear them as you guys hear them as well.
Well, guys, if you made it this far, leave a Canadian flag in the comments if you want us to do episode 16. Okay?
That's pretty cool. And if you made it this far, I'm gonna show you the braid it.
Yeah. Go
Leslie did today,
up higher.
just now.
There you go. It's a star. Go up higher. Yeah, now you can see it. Hey, this the fifth braid up, I made a star and we're just living our best lives here. We appreciate everybody. You guys are family. And here we go. Leave that.
And I'm gonna give a shout out before we take off tonight. I'm gonna give a big shout out to my interviewer, my lover, my co-host, my my world, my everything. So shout out to Leslie for being such a good interviewer, and let's keep these going. Let's keep it up. Go subscribe to our couple channel. And if you're interested in more of this stuff, check it out. We got 13 more interviews on this playlist alone. And if you want to see interviews from other guys in the genre, go check it out. It's in a separate playlist called My Interviews. All right. Everybody be good. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.